Over the last several years, it felt like highly advanced technology was suddenly dropped onto our laptops. Generative tools were writing code, drafting essays, and painting pictures on command. But the conceptual groundwork for these machines was laid over a century ago. Ancient Greek philosophers even documented automatons, mechanical beings described as acting of their own will, as early as 400 BCE. The actual technological blueprints that power our modern tools were firmly established by computer scientists in the 1950s. If the underlying math and concepts existed 70 years ago, we have to ask why it took until this exact decade for them to actually work. The history of AI is a cycle of violent economic extremes, decades of massive financial bets and overblown hype, followed by crushing economic collapses. In 1950, Alan Turing published Computer Machinery and Intelligence. He proposed a test of machine intelligence called the imitation game, which remains a benchmark for measuring computer capabilities against human logic. In 1955, John McCarthy held a workshop at Dartmouth where he coined the term artificial intelligence, officially establishing the academic field. By 1961, these theories were applied to physical automation. The first industrial robot, Unimate, began working on General Motors assembly lines to handle welding tasks deemed too dangerous for humans. This chart shows the financial explosion in the 1980s. The Japanese government allocated $850 million to create computers that could converse in human language. Most of this capital funded expert systems, programmed to replicate the decision-making abilities of human specialists. These massive investments created expectations that 1980s hardware simply could not satisfy. The technology was too rudimentary to deliver on its own hype. In 1987, the market for specialized AI hardware collapsed. Cheaper, accessible computers from companies like IBM and Apple could suddenly run the same software, making high-end research hardware obsolete. This market crash caused government and private investors to halt funding for AI research almost entirely. The result was the AI winter. Projects were abandoned, labs lost their funding, and the industry entered a multi-year period defined by public disillusionment. The collapse proved that scientific theory cannot survive without a viable economic model to sustain it. To survive the winter, researchers abandoned the pursuit of a generalized human brain and pivoted to narrow, single-task AI agents. In 1997, IBM's Deep Blue demonstrated the success of this narrow approach when it defeated reigning world chess champion Garry Kasparov. These specialized agents soon entered the consumer market. In 2002, the first Roomba was released, automatically navigating and cleaning homes without human intervention. By 2011, IBM's Watson had mastered enough natural language processing to defeat human champions on national television during a game of Jeopardy! That same year, Apple released Siri, making narrow virtual assistants a standard feature used daily by millions of smartphone owners. By focusing on practical, specialized applications, AI infiltrated daily human life without the need for a loud or obvious technological revolution. Today's generative tools rely on a logic called deep learning, a concept first proposed in a 1968 academic journal by Soviet mathematician Alexei Avakhenko. This shows the three ingredients that finally unlocked those 1960s theories: the explosion of big data and the arrival of massive computational hardware. In 2012, this combination allowed a neural network to successfully recognize images of cats without human-labeled instructions. Modern systems now process language and visual data well enough to generate poetry, code, and art that are indistinguishable from human work. Unlike the 1980s hype, these modern capabilities are built on a robust, mathematically proven infrastructure that serves both global businesses and individual users. The AI we use today is the durable, hard-won result of a century-old dream that survived its own winter.